Okay, let me try this again. This is Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. It's the 29th of December 2017, so we're getting close to going into the new year. And I wanted to talk about Mangalitsa and some of the topics that have been coming up lately. And I want to be careful because I do what I do, and I have a market, and it's working for me, you know. And people can do what they want. People can do what they want. I would just like to make you aware of something that's happened, and you know, here I am saying that, you know, I've been doing this since '09, and it's worked out for me. And there's been ups and downs, but we're in an upswing right now, and it's a good one. It's a promising one, and it's the one that's I was expecting many years ago. But you know, things happen, and things that were out of my control happen. But this here is within my control, and I think if I bring it to your attention, then maybe we can avoid it. All right. When the pig first came into the country back in 2008, it was brought in by a guy by the name of Heath Putnam, and I met him through a twist of events. You know, the pig showed a lot of promise, and I wound up over in Washington State. That's where some of the pigs were, the original ones, and got to meet Christoph and Isabel Wiesner, and they'd been raising Mangalitsas for a long time at that point. They're about my age, maybe a little younger, and they've been doing it for a lot of years. And so they knew what worked and what didn't. They're from Austria, and you know, this pig is got a big following in Austria. And let's face it, it's got a big following because of the products that you make out of it. And when people eat it, they say, I want that again. It's not because they're looking at pictures of the animals and saying, oh, I want a fuzzy animal like that. I mean, that's not where a living is in raising these animals. It's in the products that you create out of them. And I just happen to have one here. I'm in the butcher shop right now, and this is a copa. All right. A copa is that big muscle right behind the head. There's two of them, one on either side. It's part of the loin. And when you eat that copa, it's got a flavor profile on it that takes you places that you haven't been before. And that's what people want. They say, I want that again. So, like, I raise these animals, and they go to chefs. Why would a chef take this in lieu of what he can get off the you know, the food service truck that's raised in a CAFO, concentrated animal feeding operation? Why would he do that? Has to pay 3 times as much or 4 times as much, maybe even 5 times as much. Why would he do that? He'd do that because that chef is looking for an edge, right? He wants to be better than the next guy that he's competing with. Same as me. I mean, if I went into raising white pigs right now, I'm up against all the guys that have been doing that for a long, long time. And they've streamlined it now where a guy like me can't even get in that business. Not that I would want to. If you've ever gone near a CAFO, I couldn't stand living in that stink and all the screaming and everything that comes out of there. And I don't hold with that type of farming at all. At all. Anyway, chefs are looking for an edge. They want to be better than the next guy. So they've got to have a superior product. Okay, how do we get there? All right? When the Wiesners came to the United States and they shared with us the discipline of Mangalitsa, it wasn't just one subject. It was that pig from farrowing, from birth to the restaurant, right? And then and how to get there in between. They showed us hands on, and you know, those of us that participated in the class, there were people at the class, but a lot of them didn't participate in the class. They just thought that, oh, get the pig and that's good enough. No, there was way more to it than that. We had to talk about how is the pig handled from the time it's born, and then how is it killed, how is it butchered, and then how is it cut up, and then how is it prepared from there. And we covered that, right? We did it several times. And it was carried on here in the United States for a while, but it wasn't, I don't think it was given enough attention of the front end, and that is on the farm. Because I think the first one was at a farm in Washington, and then the next one was in New Jersey, and that was at a farm, sort of a farm. And then the next one was here, and we're definitely a farm, and our animals were definitely pastured. And that's kind of what I want to talk about, is the pasturing process. Can't go more than 10 minutes on this, but the pasturing process is where your animals are raised on a field, and there's something growing on the field. Hey, it could be weeds. If it's thick enough and the animals can dig it up and they can eat it, the Mangalitsa will eat anything. And I'm talking Mangalitsa and Mangalitsa crosses, and I'm going to go into that in another video because I can only go 10 minutes here. And then, look, the reason I'm doing this is because I made some videos the other day about cold weather. Just because people are contacting me and they're asking me, how do I do this? And they're panicked and all this stuff. I don't claim to be, you know, the expert on this. I just claim to have done it for a long time, and I figured out some of the things. And then I go back to the original training about how to raise them, and we have done that. And what I want to tell you is, as I get you excited about getting in this business, I don't want you to overlook the intricacies of this business and what it's going to take for you to get the finished product that is going to give that chef the edge and is going to make him want to give you a premium for the pig that you've raised, right? Because white pigs coming out of CAFOs, I don't know what they go for, but it's not much. It's not much at all, because they're really not fit to eat, in my opinion. Last time I had pork was years ago, and it wasn't good then, and we've never bought it since from the store. Of course, we've been doing this for a long time, and we wouldn't buy it from the store. But so we're going to talk about pasturing, all right? We're going to talk about what produces a superior product and what doesn't. And I think in our history, in our American history here, we're going to a place where we're going to have to go to the dictionary and look up what is a pasture, all right? If you have an 8x8 dirt pad, you know, where you've had pigs there for 20 years, that's not a pasture. It just isn't. Nothing's growing there, and the pigs are not going to be able to explore, as my friend Joel Salatin says, their piggedness, right? They're not going to be able to do that. And the pigs are created to do certain functions, and if you learn how to go with that function, it's sort of like learning how to do seam butchery. I mean, all the lines are drawn for you, and you just have to, you know, follow the seams, and it's pretty easy. You know, it's actually pretty, well, I mean, it's not brain surgery. The pigs want to dig, right? So what could be better than that? All you have to do is dedicate fields, right? Pig pastures, you can call them, and then you have to plant stuff out there. In my case, where I am, we have lamb's quarter that grows like crazy. And I left the field fallow this year, not on purpose. I just never got around to planting it after the pigs had taken everything off it from the year before. And lamb's quarter came up on it, and by the time I turned them in there, they went to town on it, and they ate everything there was. Okay, so I'm coming up on 10 minutes. I'm going to title this little series that I'm going to do Mangalitsa Privilege. And I think for those of you who know me, I think you'll understand, I hope you understand, that it's tongue-in-cheek, all right? Tongue-in-cheek means I'm being facetious, all right? And what I'm trying to get at is that it isn't just the breed. It takes, you know, more than just the breed. And I want to go into that, and I want to explain it. I'm not doing this to throw stones at anybody. You guys can, anybody can do whatever they want in this country, and that's the beauty of this country. But if you want to create a superior product that's going to give you that edge, I'm going to provide that to you, because I'm seeing a trend in the questions that I'm getting on PMs, emails, and then on my videos. There's a lot of questions underneath, and so I want to address those, because this is a good thing. If a lot of us are doing this and providing this for the people of the state that we live in, the demand is just going to be a sucking noise, and the demand will go up, and we can all produce as much as we want. Okay, so this is Mark from Baker's Green Acres. I'm going to cut it off here to keep it so YouTube will take it. And remember, anyone can farm.